The University of Detroit Mercy presents another brand new episode of Ask the Professor, the radio show on which you match wits with University of Detroit Mercy professors in an unrehearsed session of questions and answers. Today's program was recorded using Zoom video conferencing technology.
The University Tower chimes ring in another session of Ask the Professor, the show on which you match wits with University of Detroit Mercy professors in an unrehearsed session of questions and answers. I'm your host, Matt Mio, and let me introduce to you our panel for today. Looking like she's ready to sell you the next volume of Encyclopedia Britannica, it's Professor Beth Oljar.
Some of us still remember actually using those in school, the actual books, before there was Wikipedia, because I'm old as dirt, so I remember that.
Absolutely.
Old as dirt.
It's good dirt.
I'm old as rocks.
Rocks need to be ground up to make dirt. I think
that's right.
That's the way it works.
This is why Jim and I are such good friends.
Well, I had remarked to Beth when we joined the call here a little early that I just can't get the image of when people are wearing headsets, because I see it all the time now of, call now. And if you order now, you get a bonus. Like, I lived through the 80s. It was like that every day, every single day.
But wait, there's more.
I use that in my syllabus. That's in my syllabus for intro. I have the whole thing like basically a ShamWow commercial, the course description. I'm not kidding you. I was feeling particularly punchy one day, and that was just what came out.
Didn't he get arrested for something?
Yes, assault.
With a ShamWow?
Okay,
what,
so
rat tail?
Next to introduce Professor Dan Maggio, because he's the only other person I can see wearing a headset.
Thanks, Matt.
How's it going, Dan?
Good. It's another Friday and another week in the record books. So
that is definitely true. In the immortal words of my colleague Mary Lou Caspers, the only thing I know about every semester is that it comes to an end, and that pretty much covers all the bases.
Thank God.
Yes.
As much certainty as we have these days, right?
Well, math. We have math.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's true.
And Mr. Math is he's back.
Yes.
That's right. We'll get to him in just a moment. Professor Stephen Manning is here, and boy, oh boy, every week he looks even more like he is from the Department of Retired.
That's true. Official as of Saturday night at midnight, actually. My neighbor across the street saw me the other day, and I just come in from a run, admittedly, and he referred to me as a mountain man.
Oh my God!
Well, that's better than goat man.
You have this whole Jim Bridger hair thing going on. So,
well, I just want to know: are you going to be Dan Haggerty or Denver Pyle?
Well, I saw a picture of, you guys probably saw a picture of Bannon in the news in the last day since he.
Yeah.
If I continue this, and if I look too much like Bannon, I'm going to do something.
Well, okay. I think he's let himself go a little bit.
Let himself go to what?
And you're inferring I haven't, Jim? Thank you.
The best part about this whole exchange is that you know the exact minute that you become retired, and it is very close. It is very close. I think we've already heard the tones of Professor Dave Chow.
Pleasure to be here, as always.
Excellent. How's it going, Dave?
So far, so good. Running around like crazy today. Got the big honeydew list, so.
Oh yeah, sure.
I've done good. So.
Don't reveal this in too much of a creepy way, but my wife and I have been getting up earlier and earlier for our morning walk, and we actually catch Marcy on her way out of the house.
Oh, the 6
early.
o'clock, the 6 o'clock shift or the 5:30 shift?
Whatever it is, it's early and there is no sun.
Yeah.
That's nauseating.
Well, Matt, what's worse is when she goes to work, I go to bed.
Oh my.
Oh.
So this last week, I've been going to bed about 4:30, 5 o'clock on a regular basis, and I'm like,
and you're not psychotic yet?
Time.
You are.
You're not psychotic yet? I would be.
Any less or any more, you mean?
I guess any more would be.
Okay, yeah. I've been a little nutty already, so.
Uh-huh.
It's
We
deadlines.
take advantage of that.
So.
Professor Mara Livezey from Chemistry and Biochemistry is here today.
Great to be here.
What's going on? Great presentation this morning at the ENS convocation.
Oh, thank you very much. I tried to keep my nerves down to a minimum, talking in front of all you very important people.
Oh, please.
What?
What people are you talking about?
We're waiting
Mara
with
gave,
bated breath to find out.
Mara gave a really good talk with Rochelle Boulanger and Mar Latif, also from our department, on student engagement, and did pretty much hit all the right notes. Let's just put it that way. I felt engaged.
That's great. Yeah, we really want to focus on keeping our students engaged and building as much, activity into our online courses as we can.
Absolutely. Professor Heather Hill is here with us today. Hello, Heather.
Hello, how are you?
Pretty good. I'm seeing an array of colors from my dimension next to your head on the bookshelf. I see yellow, red, and blue. I can only wonder what, actually, I should ask you, what courses are you about to start teaching?
She's on leave this year.
Oh, for Pete's sake, I forgot.
Yep, I'm on leave.
All right, I'm going to mute you. Let's see. No, I'm just kidding. Wow, you are very lucky. You are very lucky.
Yeah, I picked a good time to do this.
Yep.
Unbelievable. So how are you going to spend the first week that we're all scrambling to get ready for the first week of classes that starts next week?
Well, I actually have a deadline coming up from my press. So I'm seriously working on the first chunk that they really want from me. So
okay. Well,
yep.
That's what sabbatical's all about, right?
A little gardening, little running. I'm a little grumpy today because I've been working on my annual report. I know it's due tomorrow.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll up the grump factor for sure.
I am not in any position to complain about anything because I do not have to do what all the rest of you guys are doing. So, well, some of you. I mean, not Stephen and not Jim, but you know what I'm talking about.
I do.
Can I interject real quick? So
Yeah.
It reminds me of a funny story, but I don't remember what Edwin used to put in his annual report. But he used to submit an annual report every year, but he used to write something really obviously sarcastic and funny. But who can remember what?
Oh, he used to say things like, what activities do you plan for next year to improve your, and he'd say things like, I plan to read books.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I thought there was something even more specific, but yes, that sounds.
I'm sure there was stuff even snarkier than that because
Edwin, you mean like a checklist of the 7 deadly sins or something like that?
No, this was under service. He would list, I plan to renew my library card next year. Like things like that.
That sounds right.
I took it as a personal challenge to see how few words I could put in that annual report this year.
How many?
I don't think I ended up doing a word count because it would have been hard to count actually my words as opposed to the 8 billion that are in the report itself.
True.
I didn't have a lot to say. We'll just leave it at that.
Hey, Beth, I got a challenge for you. How's about the next one? No punctuation, just one long run-on sentence.
That'll work.
You want to try to turn it into a Joyce novel, is what you're saying, basically.
Well, the Provost Pam, in her email said, please don't spend an inordinate amount of time on this.
Which I actually really appreciated. I thought that was.
I like that, but somehow I still seem to be spending too much time on it.
Yeah.
It happens. Professor Jim Tubbs is here with us today. Always looks very stately.
It's the chair.
The chair.
Despite the fact that I am retired, I am teaching 2 courses this term.
Of course you are.
And how I ever got roped into this, I do not know. But, of course, we're now being pushed to record lectures and do it with PowerPoint and all that kind of crap. I don't like doing this in the first place, but I've recorded the first 2 weeks of lectures, 15 hours. I mean, between all of the time for upload and captioning and, all that kind of crap.
Wow, you're putting a lot more into this than I planned to.
Costume change.
Yes, I did.
It's
I
all
did do a
in
cost
Dan's
control.
numbers.
You should put an intermission, just like an intermission symbol, and they have a countdown.
I haven't changed the font on the PowerPoint slides yet. I need to think about that.
Oh.
I'm thinking Gothic might be good.
Did you curate your space?
No, it's uncurated.
Or
Well,
having
there are all these articles in the Chronicle of Higher Education about how you should curate your space.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for articles for female faculty on makeup tips at this point.
Well, I think I'll curate my space when hell freezes over.
Yeah. Welcome to the Mio family basement where the printer's on top of the long range freezer. Anyway, let's continue around the horn here. Professor Jeffe Boats is here with us, back with us after a little bit of a hiatus. How's it going, Jeff?
Bad. I've been pretty busy. It's nice to be back again.
Yeah, busy. I got a lot of classes coming up next week.
Oh, tons. I got 6 online algebra sections, 3 quote unquote live algebra sections, elementary functions, calculus 1 at night, and 3 recitations.
Oh my
Lord.
God.
Yeah, I ain't got anything
that's
better
murder.
to do, I mean, other than spending time with my kids, what else you got to do lately,
Well, that much is true.
Okay, with the sun shining, eh?
It could
Binge
be the
watch
time
TV
to,
shows?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have cable or anything. I own a TV, but I just like stream Hulu once in a while or stream the internet on it.
Ah, I see.
I don't watch shows.
Yeah, you're going to be a busy guy, but you said it, man. When you see the green, you gotta go get it.
I'll leave the pop culture questions to you guys because I wouldn't have a clue about anything after 1990 something.
Well, maybe the category will be the 80s. And
That's right.
There you go.
Or James Bond movies, because you know
Yeah.
all about those.
That's right. Folks, we're really excited to have had a long summer of guest panelists, being able to do something we usually aren't able to do unless we're on Zoom, and we're going to continue this tradition into our next season. But we're very, very happy to have Sister Erin McDonald from University Ministry on with us today. Thanks for joining us, Erin.
I'm glad to be here.
Absolutely.
This will be fun. And so I will share, since someone referenced the 7 deadly sins earlier, it made me think that I could self-disclosure, I could say that I've recently been struggling with envy since one of my housemates, the sisters in my community, one of her family members made a mask for her with fabric that has little nuns on it.
That is so cool.
It is, and I am coveting it. And so I am struggling with the impulse to steal it. I don't even care if it's sanitized, and to just start wearing it because I think it's adorable and I want one. And
Okay.
So how many sins have you committed just off of that mask?
Well, clearly a lot. So yeah.
I think you ought to make one with little nuns on a bus on it.
Well, even better. I mean, that would be then I could feel like I one-upped her mask. So maybe that's what I should start searching on Etsy for fabric. Not that I know how to sew it, but fabric that has nuns and buses on it.
There you go.
So cool.
Just in case nobody told you, I can also illustrate whatever you need on a mask.
Well, damn! Why didn't anyone tell me this? Oh my goodness!
I'm sorry. I'm the art guy in this bunch here. That's also.
He's the magic man of illustration.
Yes,
oh my
he is.
goodness! So yeah, how do I put in an order for a nun mask?
Just drop it in the chat.
Well, you can talk to my operator, Dan Maggio over here. He's on line 24/7. He's a MasterCard accepted.
No discover.
Well, I should warn you, I hear nun masks are habit forming.
Oh,
Brutal. Absolutely brutal.
That was really good.
Yeah,
That was good.
well played. Well played. Yes.
We're very glad to have you here, Erin. It'll become obvious if it hasn't already what we actually do during this half-hour show.
Yes.
Crack
Yes.
each other up. That's pretty much it.
Pretty much
Right.
it. Speaking of our program, this is a program you can send us questions regarding anything. If you stump the panel, you win a prize. If you don't stump the panel, guess what? You win a prize. You can send the questions to us in a number of ways. You can email us at atp@udmercy.edu. You can reach us on the web at udmercy.edu/atp. Find us on Facebook, or if you dare, listen on your favorite smart speaker by saying, play Ask the Professor from University of Detroit Mercy. We have a set of questions sent in by longtime question sender, Amber Hubley. And she sent us these questions back at the end of July. And it's been a while since she sent us some stuff. So we have a little message from her. Dear panelists, there was a time when it felt like I was researching and writing questions to submit to your show regularly. As of late, I just couldn't muster the time to do things, even though I still listened regularly. No more guilt. Shame on me. I made it a point last weekend to come up with 20 questions all across the board to contribute to your fine show. I hope they'll come in handy for a future episode. And here we are, your loyal fan, Amber Hubley. Thank you for sending us these questions. Amber, let's get right down to business.
Rumble.
What actor was born with the name William West Anderson? Very, very famous actor, mostly due to the cadence of his speech.
I'll guess Adam West.
It is. It's Adam West. Very well done.
Okay.
Little
There you
bit
go,
of a
Jeff.
clue there.
In your wheelhouse.
If you could
You
see
have to
me
do
on
the
camera, you
Batman.
could see I was doing the Batusi in celebration.
Oh my, we usually keep the dancing to a minimum, on the show.
Or not.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What is
I
the
left my
most,
pole in another room.
what's the more common name of the aircraft coded HK-4 Hercules?
Is that the guppy?
Hilo? No, Halo.
Uh,
Is this the one that can go straight up in the air without?
the Harrier?
It's not the Harrier. It's not
Okay.
the Harrier. Which one is HK-4
A
Hercules?
Huey?
Huey?
What if I said to you to think about it being made out of wood?
Oh, the spruce goose.
The spruce goose.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Howard Hughes.
About to say that.
I think it got 50 feet off the water for about 5 seconds, something like
Yeah,
that.
that's about right. That was a big deal.
I realized I should have prayed a lot harder before I came on here for divine inspiration. You didn't warn me, Matt. You didn't warn me.
This is not about knowing things. It's about finding ways to make fun of them quickly.
Yes.
Oh,
Wait till she hears the voice of God chime in.
I don't know which question that'll be, but it'll be a trip.
Trust me, it'll happen. What did automotive pioneer Claude Foster invent? It's a part of the car we don't use very often, but when we use it, it's very important.
The emergency
Windshield
brake.
wipers.
It's not the wipers.
Turn signals.
It's not the signals.
It's not
Emergency brake.
Is it cruise control? That's not very important.
What else is super?
Mm.
The lighter? The chimsel.
The turn signal? Did somebody say turn signal? No, we use that often.
Somebody
Glove
said
box.
signal.
Glove box.
Rotary beads hanging from the rearview mirror.
Fuzzy dice.
Now you're catching
Gotta
on.
be the fuzzy
Heather,
dice.
what was that?
Plastic Jesus on the dash.
The
The
glove
rear,
box.
the rear defrogger? No.
Parking
defroster?
brake?
No,
Bobblehead in the back window.
it's
Pope
really
Francis
interesting.
bobblehead.
The dead body in the trunk.
You're circling like sharks, but the person's standing right in the middle and just totally protected here. So Claude Foster invented the horn for cars.
Oh.
You don't
Well, you
use
said it was used rarely.
I know, we're in Detroit.
Come on.
I guess.
For New Yorkers, it's used more than the accelerator or the brake.
That is the accelerator.
What did he live in rural Idaho or something?
I'm looking at Heather's face, and her face says, like, I just start honking in the garage. I just start, like,
get out of my way.
don't you? I mean, doesn't everybody?
That's how I start my car in the morning.
Oh my gosh, so funny. So this very famous Michigan company was founded by Lewis and Emery Upton on the west side of the state.
Upton. John Upton? What is it?
Upjohn.
Upjohn, yeah.
Whirlpool?
It is. It's Whirlpool. Yeah, you pulled that right out of your ear there. Whirlpool. Absolutely. I'm remembering the old 80s commercials in my head right now.
Mm-hmm.
Never gonna try out for Jeopardy.
Right. Now, seriously, Erin, this one you got a shot at because we can solve this problem at least some level mathematically.
How do you solve a problem like Maria?
Oh, that's
That's a,
Great
That's
problem.
my favorite.
Third non-reference of the day. How many Grammys has Weird Al Yankovic won?
Oh man, I used to like listening to him when I was growing up in the 80s.
13.
It is not 13. It's lower.
8.
0. Then
yeah,
it's 0.
1.
Has he won any?
Hey, I'm gonna guess half of his albums won Emmys. So what's that, about 5 out of 10 then?
So Jeff centered on 5. The correct response is 4. You got all kind of bounced around a little bit, but the answer is 4. He's won 4 Grammys, but still going strong. I'd just like to point out, still going
Well,
strong.
I mean, what category are they in? Does it say?
No, it doesn't actually, but there is a good a spin-off question here that I know you're going to enjoy.
Spoken record or spoken something, maybe?
I'm just trying to think,
like comedy albums, right?
Yeah, who's the competition?
Right. Why wouldn't Paul McCartney let Weird Al Yankovic do a parody of Wings' "Live and Let Die"? This is great.
He and Linda are devout vegetarians.
And
Weird Al's like into meat or something like that. I can't remember.
Did he want to do "Live and Let Fry" or something? I mean,
no, he wanted to do chicken pot pie is what he wanted.
Oh,
guys, Dave got it exactly correct. I would give you 5 out of 6 on that on an exam. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, because I vaguely remember that. I think one of the last times I played here in Detroit, he was at the Palace or something like that, and they were staying at the what's that posh hotel in Birmingham?
The Townsend.
The Townsend, and I guess his daughter's throwing snowballs at the furrier across the street, beating people walking in with their nice fancy fur coats, and their daughter's just like pelting people left and right. So
she's a really good designer.
Yeah,
right?
Stella. No, is it Stella?
Stella McCartney.
Yeah, Stella.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So how about this one? This one is something I've always wondered about, and I think that most of us have a fighting chance of at least putting a guess out there. By far, courtesy of data from 2019, one item on the Taco Bell menu outsells all the rest combined.
Chalupas.
Nachos Belgrande.
It is not.
Cheesy Gordita Crunch.
Mm-mm.
It's not a chalupa?
What was that, Erin?
Quesadilla?
Nope.
Their burrito.
Nope.
Not the burrito?
Not
Just
burrito?
a regular old taco?
I'd have to give you partial credit, Dan. The regular soft taco outsells everything else on the menu combined. The regular.
Oh.
We need Kendra here. She's our Taco Bell ringer, isn't she?
She's our fast food ringer. That's right.
But the chalupas are so good.
Yeah.
They really are quite good.
And the tacos with the Dorito Ranch, Cool Ranch Dorito shells, those are so yummy.
What?
Now I'm even hungrier.
I know this isn't going to help.
I've literally never eaten a Taco Bell, not even one.
Oh, when I was pregnant, I craved bean burritos.
Ooh, sounds good too.
Erin, I'd like to recommend the soft taco for you.
What I'm hearing you say is that's what I should order.
You should get the nachos too. They're very good.
Yeah, Nachos Belgrande is good too.
Beef Supreme chalupa.
Recent decades. Does anybody remember what company manufactured the short-lived alcoholic beverage called Zima?
Oh, Zima.
Man, you're the Zima ringer.
Anheuser-Busch.
It wasn't.
It wasn't Bartles and James, was it?
Coors?
Wasn't
It was
Smirnoff?
Coors. Yeah, it was Coors Brewing Company.
Coors. Oh.
From Colorado. Yes.
Got that right, was it Stephen?
Did you say 2, Heather?
No, I didn't.
Oh, got it. Okay. When Disneyland's Tomorrowland made its debut in 1955, what year in the future were they trying to simulate? This is hilarious.
Not the year 2020.
2020.
Oh, was it? Yeah, I was like,
And
they
what,
missed that one.
nobody showed up.
Any guesses?
1999.
Oh, it's not 2020? I thought it was 2020.
Not 2020, no.
1980.
I have to give it tomorrow. It was 1986, specifically 1986. Like, what was so special about that year?
Was it like a 50-year forward leap or 40-year?
Something like that.
31.
I think I moved into my first apartment that year, if I
What's
recall
special about
correctly.
that year? Bon Jovi.
I moved here that year.
I wasn't born in that year.
About 1986. I think that it's funny because I remember my Beastie Boys very, very well. He always said, there is nothing that looks older than yesterday's view of tomorrow. In what country of the world is the oldest working library?
Italy.
It's not.
Iran?
That's somewhere in the
Egypt?
Middle East because of the madrasas.
Yeah.
Jordan.
Italy?
Syria.
Ethiopia.
Mesopotamia.
Yeah, I mean Alexandria.
Mesopotamia
I would've
is an
guessed
excellent guess. I'm giving partial
China.
credit. However, it's incorrect.
Istanbul.
It's not Istanbul. It's not Istanbul.
That's a good
Iran.
guess, though, too.
Mm-mm.
Iraq.
It says
Turkey?
here.
Egypt.
Syria.
Let's
It says
just pick
here
all
that
the same
it's,
countries over and over again and see if
Sooner or later, we'll just keep on driving Matt into insanity, and he'll agree. That's all.
Sadly, if you did this alphabetically, you were only going to get about. You'd have to go halfway through. It's in Morocco. It's in Morocco.
Huh.
oh,
We were in the right
So
region,
when did it open?
roughly.
It doesn't say. It just says it's in a city called Fex, Fex, Morocco. So
This is probably goes back to the madrasas during the Dark Ages, when a lot of the knowledge of the ancient world and the new knowledge of mathematics were being stored in the Middle East, because that was the height of it was the center of knowledge.
I would expect a mathematician to know such beautiful history.
And if your books are late, so help you. So.
Well, and then the Moors came into Europe and brought a lot of that knowledge back.
There's a video of that I put in my math history course.
Yeah.
Excellent. As I always like to say on these calls, drop it in the chat. This is pretty interesting. There's no citation here, and that probably means that there's some sense to it that we may not be able to achieve outside of context. But according to a recent poll of 11,000 Americans, 2019, what percentage of those 11,000 Americans are vegans or vegetarians that gave up and started eating meat again?
25%.
It's higher.
75.
50.
It's higher than 75.
92.
I'm giving you a 92. It's 84%. 84.
Wow.
Really?
84% were ever vegans?
Or
eight-
I am
vegetarian.
one of those people.
You were a vegan and you gave up. Was it the bacon that did it?
It's
So I was vegetarian for 7 years, and then in preparation to live in Macedonia, I started to eat meat again so I could, fit in culturally.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
so you can't blame bacon.
I cannot. I blame myself.
Well, bacon is the pixie dust of the culinary world. I mean, you add it to anything. And my beloved Anthony Bourdain once said that vegans were the Hezbollah-like splinter faction of vegetarians.
Oh my
Laura,
God.
I expect you can blame lamb in
Not
Macedonia.
what I was expecting, but well said.
Yes. I agreed with him.
Yes. I
So
support
this is,
that.
I'm sorry. What, let me see here real quick, because we only have time for about one or two more questions here. We want to finish up Amber's set. What is the main difference between apple cider and apple juice?
Apple cider is fermented and apple juice is not.
I think there's something else they're looking for when it's
Oh,
not.
well, apple cider's got pulp in it usually.
Right.
Or like $3.
What would Ned Flanders say about this? That's what I'm thinking.
Ned Flanders would probably say, if it's clear and yellow, you got juice there, fella. If it's dark and brown, you're in cider town.
That sounds nasty.
Oh my gosh.
I'm glad this is recorded. There's some nuggets of wisdom that I want to be able to go back and
So
write down.
when people don't believe what you experienced today, you can show
Yeah.
them.
That's exactly right.
Eighth deadly sin.
Ask the professor. That's the eighth deadly sin.
All right, one more for the ages and the records here. What famous invention did Gideon Sundback create? Gideon Sundback. I guarantee that this is on in all of our lives, usage at least once a day or once every 2 days, I would guess.
Deodorant.
Mm-mm.
A razor.
It is a part of clothing.
Belt.
Every day or every other day?
Underwear?
Underwear? Yeah.
No.
Please don't say that's every other day.
A zipper? A zipper.
It's a zipper, Dan. It's a zipper. Yeah.
Zipper. I said zipper first.
I'm sorry, Heather. Zipper. Thank you.
He couldn't hear you over us shouting underwear over and over again.
That's the problem. Oh my gosh. You guys are en fuego today, but we definitely had a lot of fun. Unfortunately, the time has come for us to say goodbye. Beth.
Goodbye.
Dan.
Shall we sing it like Sound of Music? Goodbye.
Stephen.
Bye.
Edelweiss.
Dave.
See ya.
Mara.
So long.
Heather.
Well, I'll be to say.
Goodbye.
Jim.
Adieu.
Jeff.
Hasta del fuego.
And Erin.
Good night.
Now these words from University of Detroit Mercy. You know what, folks? Ask the Professor is transcribed from wherever we are. Some of us are on campus right now, but most of us aren't. But usually we're in the Briggs Building at the Department of Communication Studies in the College of Liberal Arts and Education at the University of Detroit Mercy's McNichols campus. Ask the Professor is produced and technically directed by Brian Masonville and Mr. Michael Jason, and our executive producer is Professor Jason Roach. Until next week, I'm your host, Matt Mio.